Hello, everybody. Get off my lawn cards. I'm Dan. Welcome in. And today I made the trip over to Lansing, our state capital, for the Avery Shoebox monthly show. And I did pick up some things. The show was pretty busy. The only kind of downer was that there was a lot of Pokemon. I would guess half the tables, maybe more, were Pokemon. And, so that's not something I'm really that interested in. But the Pokemon TCG is really strong. Like, there is a ton of people that are interested in it, and as long as the check clears, more power to them to have tables at show. But at this show, they are kind of squeezing out types of tables that I'm looking for. But I did buy some pretty good deals. There was some really good stuff there. That's still a strong show, I would say. Maybe fewer tables than they've had, let's say 6 months ago, but 6 months ago things were bananas, so it's hard to keep that kind of traffic in this hobby. But there's all kinds of new releases out as well. Topps Chrome football, Topps Chrome basketball, Bowman basketball just released. I actually did buy a bunch of blasters. They haven't come to the house yet. I think they're supposed to be here Monday. I might crack a couple of those and put those on the channel. I've seen people cracking Bowman, like hobby boxes and cases and hobby cases and stuff. I had higher expectations of what that product was going to look like. I'll talk more about that though when I get those boxes. I like the idea of mixing the college and the pro. I'm not thrilled about how they're doing it. I think the checklist is way too big. But I'll show you some of the cases. I didn't shoot a ton of case footage because there wasn't as many sports cases as there usually is. But traffic, like I said, was pretty good. You'll see that as well. And then I'll show you what I bought. Like I said, pretty wide variety. I was kind of surprised when I got home, actually, how much stuff I bought. I didn't really think I bought as much as I did. But I'll show that to you as well. Okay, let's take a quick look at the cards I bought today. This first stack I paid $60 for. None of these had prices on them, and I just don't like dealing a whole lot in those cases. But, I thought the price was maybe a little high, but not terrible. Pretty fair. See what you think. I don't know. About a Doncic, red, white, and blue from 23-24. Hopefully he'll be back soon in the playoffs. Lakers have looked pretty good without him, actually. About a couple Cooper Flags. I don't think you can go wrong with Cooper Flags. He had a good rookie year. Probably the rookie of the year. I did buy a couple Con Knipples as well. Base tops. A couple Topps Chrome. I was just talking to my brother on the phone before I started this video. I said Con Knipples stuff has really fell. Like to the point where these are about $10 a piece or less on eBay. If you're looking to get in kind of low on Knipple, he had a couple bad games to end the season, and it just like his stuff just fell in the toilet. It's like he tied an anchor to his prices and threw it in the water. I really like this card. I think this could be sneaky good. This is a Carter Bryant rookie that's got the basketball background. Last one on eBay sold for about 10 to 15 bucks. He has looked very good in the playoffs. The Spurs have a lot of talent. They've got a lot of talent on that team. And Carter Bryant played well. Last card I bought in this group, this is Ace Bailey Ball of Duty Refractor. Numbered 275, I think. Yep. A little bit hard to see, but there it is. He had a good end of the season. You know, you like to see that. The one thing with basketball rookies is I think you need to be pretty patient with basketball rookies. That first year might not look the greatest, but usually you will know by the end of season 2 what type of player they're going to be. Bailey had a pretty good end of the season. So all these cards for $60. I didn't think it was a bad deal. You know, compared to some of the deals I got at Legends the other week, doesn't come close, but they're good deals. They're all right. The next group, I just kind of hit, these are 50 cents a piece. These might be some flips depending on the price. I didn't look at prices. X-Fractor Yegor German. His pronunciation is just, the pronouncing his name, it's bizarre. But X-Fractor, AJ Mitchell, he's playing Optic Hollow rookie. Getting pretty good minutes for OKC. Austin Reeves, purple from Optic. Austin Reeves stuff, I'm a big fan of Austin Reeves, and his stuff sells pretty well on eBay. Here's a wave, Yegor Demon. Not bad. He had an okay year with the Nets. Here's a refractor, Austin Reeves. Hopefully he'll be back soon in the playoffs. Another Yegor Devin. Sleek Finishers is from Bowman. Or not Bowman, but Topps Chrome, sorry. I saw a B there and thought automatically Bowman. I got a couple Bowman cards. Like I said, I've got some Bowman blasters coming my way. Here's a Brandon Miller Reptilian. These are really nice in person. If you're busting hobby boxes of this, there are quite a few of them in there. They're not numbered, so that should give you an idea that there's probably too many of them out there. But Brandon Miller had a good year. Reptilian looks nice. VJ Edgecombe, base, Bowman rookie. You know, they're doing the rookie buyback where they have the red rookie label. Person who wins rookie of the year, which will probably be flag. You can you can do the Topps buyback program with them. All right, some odds and ends. These are kind of not in any particular order. I like this card. I bought this with the with this bunch. This is Jaylen Brown negative. And I have not seen a lot of these in person. They're not numbered. But, like, these sell pretty well on eBay for, like, $10. So I might put this out there. I really was very impressed with Jaylen Brown this year. He had a great season. He'll probably be top 5 MVP in the MVP ballot this year. Had a really good year. And this is a really nice card in person, too. So I might keep this or I might sell it. I'm not sure. Here's a card that I just thought was really undervalued because the guy just got in the Hall of Fame. This is an old, let's see, it's a Flair Final Edition Amari Stoudemire autograph. Nice card. I paid $5, and it is actually numbered. It's numbered to 200. So, I mean, a pretty low numbered card. This is from 03-04 Fleer. I mean, that's got to be worth more than $5, I think. You know, you can argue if Amari Stoudemire deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not so sure. He had a lot of injuries. But he is in the Hall of Fame. So, $5 for that autograph. I thought that was a pretty good deal. You know, just one of those boxes that's got a bunch of autos and, you know, patches and stuff. And $5, yeah. I was willing to take a chance. A couple other cards here of note. I bought a trio of Troy Murphy III cards. Optic Hollow. I bought a Red Ice Prism rookie. And then I bought a Topps Finest autograph. This one is numbered, I believe. Hold on a second. It is numbered. Oops. It is numbered to 99. You know, Topps Finest pre-logo. No. I really like Trey Murphy Jr. The team that he plays on is a mess. It is a mess. But they do have a lot of talent on that team. When DeJounte Murray came back, they were actually a very good team. But they've just got a lot of pieces. Jeremiah Fears, DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy III, Zion Williamson, Derek Queen. They've got a lot of pieces. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with them next season. Okay, 2 more cards. I really like this card. I'm kind of a fan of this guy's game. He plays for the Lakers now. This is a Jake LaRavia. It's a Spectra Wave. Big patch. Autograph. I don't know if that's on card. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like it's on card. Spectra. Number to 30. And I paid $20 for this. You know, like I said, he plays for the Lakers now. He's had a pretty good year. He's getting some run in the playoffs. I mean, when I saw this card for $20, I thought, man, it's really pretty cheap. You know, patch, auto, low numbered. It's got everything you want. So I snapped that up for $20. I thought, well, what the heck. The last card I bought, I thought this was a good deal. This is where if you do, sometimes you got to do some comps. And, you know, I'm not buying, you know, if you watch this channel long enough, you know I'm not buying like $500 to $1,000 cards. So I don't have to do a lot of comps for stuff that I buy. But I just like to kind of have a baseline idea. And here's a card that I thought I got a good deal on. Here's a Lucky 13 from Fleer Ultra. This is a Calvin Johnson. It's a BGS 9.5. No high grades. You know, all 9.5s, 1.9. So there's no 10s there. You know, if people do the subgrade thing. That's another just weird, quirky thing that some people do in the hobby. I don't really usually. But Calvin Johnson, I thought this was a nice card. I looked at comps. I was like, oh, you know, that seems like a really good deal. And I looked it up. The last one I think sold, that was a 9.5, sold for $60 plus shipping, and there was a crack in the case. So I thought, hey, for $50, that's pretty good. That's not terrible. And nice card. I really like this card. These were really hard to get out of Fleer Ultra. Like, I was around back in that day. Lucky 13s were really hard to get in basketball. I don't know what they were like in football. I never busted football wax, but I did bust Fleer Ultra wax, and I don't think I ever got a Lucky 13. So, nice card. I really think it's cool. One deal that I kind of screwed up on is a guy that I bought stuff off him very often. I can't remember his name is. He had a huge box of mags, empty mags, for $50. And I should have bought that. You know, that's a little tip if you're going to shows. Sometimes supplies are really cheap. And I was like, well, sure, do I want to do that? Do I want to buy it? And I just didn't. But I do see that guy pretty regularly at shows. If he has them at the next show, I'll probably snap them up. I mean, mags cost, I don't know what they cost now, 80 cents, $1 a piece. I mean, there probably was well over 100 in that box. So sometimes just watch out for that. Sometimes you can get really good deals on supplies. So that's it for this week's card show. Not a tremendous amount of buys, but I think there's some things that I can, flip and maybe make a little money, maybe make enough money to pay for gas. Gas prices are not cheap right now if you're out and about. But that's that. So, like I said, overall, a little disappointing because of how many Pokemon tables there are. But I get it. Like if you're a person that's running card shows, you know, you want to get as many tables as you can. You want to make as much money as you can. And I totally get that. That's not unreasonable. So until next time, Kitos, thank you. Like, subscribe. Picked up a couple subscribers. If you're new to the channel, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it. It's kind of cool. You know, when I started this channel a few years ago, I really didn't know where it was going. And, you know, I have fun doing it. And hopefully you enjoy watching the videos. And so we'll see you down the trail.